Why is subtle workplace discrimination so hard to prove? Imagine feeling like you're being left out or treated unfairly at work, but no one explicitly says it. That's what subtle workplace discrimination is all about. It sneaks in through small actions or words that seem harmless but can hurt deeply. These behaviors are often called microaggressions or covert discrimination. Because they are not obvious, they are tough to catch and even harder to prove legally. One reason it's so difficult to show is because the behavior is often ambiguous. For example, an employee might be excluded from important meetings or given less challenging tasks. These actions might look like normal management decisions or workplace dynamics, not discrimination. Without clear proof, it's hard to say they are based on protected characteristics like race, gender, age, or disability. Another challenge is the lack of direct evidence. Unlike overt discrimination, which might involve a clear statement like a racial slur or a discriminatory policy, subtle discrimination relies on patterns or comparisons. For instance, if one employee is consistently given less support than others, that might be discrimination. But proving it requires showing a pattern over time, which can be tricky. Employers often avoid obvious discrimination because it's illegal and damages their reputation. Instead, they might act unconsciously or unintentionally. This makes it harder to prove that discriminatory intent was behind their actions. If a boss doesn't realize they are being unfair, it's even more difficult to demonstrate malicious intent. Perception plays a big role too. What one person sees as unfair treatment, another might see as normal. For example, some employees might see certain jokes or comments as harmless, while others find them offensive. This subjectivity makes it tough to establish a clear case of discrimination. Legal standards add to the difficulty. Laws like the Civil Rights Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act requiring employees to show that discrimination was a factor in adverse decisions. Since subtle discrimination often doesn't involve explicit statements, gathering enough evidence to meet these standards can be complex. Employees may also hesitate to report subtle discrimination. They might fear retaliation, doubt whether the behavior qualifies as discrimination, or simply not know their rights. This leads to underreporting and fewer documented incidents, making it even harder to build a case. To address this, workplaces need to stay alert and document any unfair treatment. Employers should have clear policies against discrimination and provide training to recognize subtle bias. Employees should feel safe to report concerns and seek advice from human resources or legal experts. Understanding these challenges helps everyone work toward fairer, more respectful environments.